So this is one of my favorite teas that I drink all the time as an uplifting tea. Each one of these herbs has a very gentle but powerful impact on the nervous system, and they just seem to lift people up. It's not only a tea I drink a lot, it's a tea that others drink it as well. The proportions don't really matter so much. It's understanding and knowing the plants and then which one you need more of. We'll just say roughly, approximately about equal amounts of each would be 2 pinches of this. And this is Hawthorn. Hawthorn is thought of as a cardiovascular tonic. It's really, really good for the heart. But I've also found in using it that it's not only good for the heart muscle, but also for joy. It just helps to lift the spirits. And I would say most especially, I would use it as an indicator when there's depression or sorrow or loss. I've just seen it work wonders in that way. You know, each of these plants have physiological actions. They act with chemical constituents on different areas of our body, but they also support us emotionally, psychologically as well. And then I love the Milky Oats. Milky Oats is a nervine demulcent. It's soothing to the nervous system. It's really excellent for fatigue and exhaustion. It's just restorative. You know, think about it. Cows and horses thrive on the oats, right? And you look at how strong and also calm they are. Strong and calm. That's what Milky Oats does. And when we talk about Milky Oats, we're talking about the unripe grain. It's still in kind of a greenish stage. I don't know if you can see this in here. And actually, if you were picking this and it was fresh, you'd poke the end of it and you actually do get a little bit of oat milk out of it. It's kind of amazing. It tastes very sweet and very delicious. Because I need a lot of soothing, I'm going to put an extra pinch of my Milky Oats in there. And then I love to use lemon balm in this. Usually I put a little bit more lemon balm because it helps to carry the flavor. It has that wonderful, delicious taste to it, very lemony and minty, but also because it's a nervine tonic. It feeds and strengthens the nervous system, and like Hawthorn, it lifts the spirits. It just makes you feel good. It brings joy to the heart. Herbalists have been using lemon balm really for thousands of years as an herb that brings joy to one's life and one's spirit. It's a beautiful herb. And then I don't always add this herb, but I'm going to today, is this beautiful linden, because linden is another herb that I feel definitely brings joy, and it's also a wonderful herb for the nervous system. It's very relaxing, calming to the system. It's not sedating, but calming and relaxing. So we'll add just a pinch of that. It also has a wonderful flavor. You know, the flowers look lacy. The flavor is so delicious. I always feel like I'm drinking like plant lace when I drink it. And then the St. John's wort, of course, has a long history of being used for nervous system disorders, anxiety and stress. I always like to point out that it's not really an herb that you'd use for really deep-seated depression. It has a current history of being used for that, but really it was always traditionally used for nerve damage done to the nerve endings. So it was used topically if you had serious burns or Bell's palsy, but also taken internally to lift the spirits. So as an herb for mild depression, it's excellent. There are better herbs, I feel, for deep-seated depression. You know, it's kind of like the symbol of it, the signature is that beautiful bright yellow flower that looks a bit like the sun. And so it's like when you need more of that sunshine in your life, that's when you'd go for the St. John's wort. And then just to add a touch of beauty, and also because I think that roses are wonderfully calming to the spirit. They also add beauty, which always helps when we're stressed out. Just add a little bit of that wonderful roses to that formula. For flavor, yes, because it does add a nice flavor, but also for the calming effect of it. So usually I mix this up in a bowl. I put it in this pot because I wanted to brew this tea right now. And I have a little more in here than I need. So I'm going to take a big pinch out and put it in my bowl over here. And then just for a final touch, because I've kind of fallen madly in love with this plant, I'm going to add just a couple of the butterfly pea flowers to this. Just a couple. If you add too many, it will turn the tea a dark, dark blue, and you really can't even see through it. But it's just enough to give it like a blue dream look. And so we're going to add boiling water to this. This is a leafy mixture, so you just need to steep it. There's no boiling here. All these plants will release their scent readily in this beautiful boiled water here, this precious water, another gift from the earth. And then I'm gonna just put it in a French press. You can brew it in a teapot, you can brew it in quart jars. I love making my teas in quart jars, but also just putting it in this wonderful French press, and I'll let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. If I want it to be really stronger, I'll let it sit longer, and then I'll just press this down. And I think we already are starting to get that beautiful blue, but we'll let it steep for a few minutes and then we'll pour it and we'll have Blue Dream tea, a nice uplifting tea for the heart and spirit.